Hello students, welcome back to the English vlog. Today in this video I am going to cover the explanation of poem 2, that is wind. Now we all know what wind is. Wind is moving air. It is a natural phenomena that occurs on the earth. Now this poem was written originally by Subramania Bharati in Tamil language, and later it was then translated into English by the another poet A.K. Ramanujan. Now we'll move forward with the explanation of the poem. In this poem, poet is referring to wind as something that causes destruction. As you can read in the blue box, it is mentioned the wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. So when a wind blows very strongly, when a strong wind moves across the surface of the earth, it causes lots of destruction. Now we are about to see in the poem that how can we make friends with it. Now practically we cannot be friends with wind. Wind is not going to ever listen to us or blow in a way we tell it to do. So here poet with the help of an example of wind is trying to tell us something else. If we correlate it with life, here wind is referring to all the challenges or the adversities in our life that a person that we have to face in different situations of our life. Obviously life is not an easy path. Every now and then there are challenges, there are adversities that we have to go through. We have to face them and we have to come out, we have to emerge out as a stronger person. Now here let's begin with the poem. Here the poet is trying to talk to wind. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So now here poet is talking to wind and he is trying to tell to wind that please come softly. Don't come in a very strong manner and destroy all things. Try to come in a soft and gentle way. When you come strongly, he's telling don't break the shutters of the windows. Now we know what are shutters. Usually outside the shop you must be knowing there's a shutter which is used to open and close the shop. Similarly, at times we use a wooden covering or a metal covering outside our windows also to cover it to open or shut it down. Those are known as shutters. So a poet is telling the wind that don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't spread the papers here and there. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Don't blow such strongly that you even throw down the books from the shelf. There, he's trying to tell the wind, there, look what you did. Look what you have done. You have threw all the things down. You have scattered, you have spreaded all the things in a very messy way. You tore the pages of the book. Means the wind has even tore the pages of the books very badly. You brought rain again. You brought rain again in such a way that it is causing so much of destruction. You are very clever. The poet is telling the wind that wind, you are very smart at poking fun. Poking fun means making fun at weaklings. Now through this conversation with the wind, the poet is trying to tell something else to us. The poet is trying to tell us that he is trying to talk to wind and he is trying to tell him that don't come so strongly that you destruct so many things, that you destroy so many things. Come gently, come softly so that we can like you and you brought no more destruction and everything would be fine again. But the nature of the wind is to blow strongly. Similarly, it is correlated with the life, that the nature of the life is to throw adversities, to throw challenges in our lives on us. And we cannot be weaklings in those times. Weaklings means a person or an animal or a thing which are weak, which are not physically strong. So poet is trying to tell the wind that you are so smart that you make fun of weaklings. So poet is trying to tell us that there are people who in adverse situations of life, when certain challenges are thrown on them by the life, they are not ready, they are not well prepared, they are weak in those situations, and that is why they succumb to their fear, they succumb to their weakness, and they are not able to overcome it. So they become more weak, and those challenges, they crush them from inside, they shatter them, they shatter their hope, their dreams, everything. Similarly is the wind. If we will be weak in front of the wind, then wind will crush us all. It will crumble each and everything. It will break all the things that is weak. That is why it is said that it is making fun of the weaklings, because whatever things are weak in front of that strong wind, it is being crumbled by the wind. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So when wind blows very strongly, what happens? It crumbles. Crumbles means it breaks down. Frail houses, frail means again weak houses, weak doors, weak rafters, weak wood, weak bodies, weak lives, and even weak hearts. So by these lines, poet is trying to tell us that the challenges or the adversities in our lives are also the same as this strong wind. They will not tell us before they are going to arrive. They will just come suddenly and they will break us. They will crumble us into several pieces if we are not strong enough to face it. If we'll become a weakling in front of it, it will crush us, it will crumble us, and it will break us. So similarly here, just like the strong wind will break all the things that is weak in front of it, just like that, all the adversities, challenges, or difficult problems in our life will crush us if we become weak through it. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Here now the poet is referring the wind as a god. A wind god winnows and crushes them all. Now what does the wind god does? What does the wind god do? He winnows and crushes them all. Now what is winnows? Winnows is a process of winnowing. Now as you can see here two ladies are winnowing. Winnowing is a process which is used to separate wheat grains from its husk. As wheat grains are little bit stronger particles than its husk, and husk are lighter particles, so when a wind is blow through them, what happens? Wheat will get collected downwards, whereas all the lighter particles, the weak particles, the husk of it, the outer covering of it will get blown away with the air. It will get crushed away. So same is happening with us. The wind god, what does it do? Wind god also crushes and winnows all the weak people. Means he separates strong people from the weak people, and whosoever are weak, he crushes them, he breaks them. He won't do what you tell him, as he is a wind god. And here wind is referred to the adversities or challenges in life, so they won't listen to us. If they will not come into our life if we tell them that, oh, I am weak, don't come in my life, I will not be able to face you, that particular challenge or adversity is not going to listen to you. It will come whenever it is supposed to come, and we have to be well prepared to face it. So that is why now the poet is trying to tell us, so come, let's build strong homes, let's join the doors firmly, practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. So now to overcome this situation, to overcome the challenges or difficult situation in our life, what one has to do? We have to build our strong homes. This is just an example given. We have to make our doors firm, means strong. We have to practice to firm the body, means physically we have to be strong, as well as make the heart steadfast, means mentally also we have to become tough. We have to make our heart very faithful and loyal, that it doesn't change its attitude. It remains strong, such that it can face all the challenges or adversities that come in its way. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The poet is trying to tell us that whenever any challenges are thrown on you in your life, whenever you have to face any adversities, don't be a weakling. try to face it with strong attitude, with a positive state of mind. Be mentally tough and physically strong and try to face it. And when you'll face it, you'll emerge out of it as a stronger person. Challenges make us stronger. And then what will happen? They will no more remain an enemy or a challenge for you. They will become friends of you. Then you will like challenges, because then you will get in your mind that challenges are thrown on us. Sometimes we talk to ourselves that why God is giving us such difficult situations. Somebody tries to tell us that God is giving you such difficult situations because He's trying to make you strong. So when we face these challenges with a positive attitude, with mental toughness, and we remain strong in front of it, what will happen? It will not be able to destroy us. Instead, we will become friends with it. The wind blows out weak fires. So those who are weak, the wind will blow them out. Similarly, those who are weak, challenges will crush them, break them. They will not be able to outcome there. They will not be able to overcome it. And that is why they will become more weak. They will get depressed, they will get stressed, they will get tensed, that what will they do in that situation. But the one who is mentally tough, well prepared beforehand, that anytime any challenges could come in his way, then that person will be strong enough to face it and flourish through it. Means emerge out of it as a better and a stronger person. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. Now this line means that whenever a person faces the challenges in a stronger manner in front of it, by not being a weakling, then what will happen? The strong fires roar means the stronger person becomes more strong. When you fight through the challenges, you become more stronger and you flourish, you grow in your character, in your personality. When you face through different challenges, it shapes your personality. You understand various things, you become mature enough, you become much more well prepared for the further challenges coming. And then it also changes your attitude, your perspective of looking towards life. You will look toward your life in a positive way, that all the challenges are not your enemies, they are like your friends. They will make you much more stronger if you take it in a positive way and try to overcome it in a better way. His friendship is good. So here win means the friendship with challenges are good. If you don't have to face any challenges only, then you will become weak and your life will become bore, and you would have no spice in your life, that there is something that you want to win or achieve or overcome. So there should be a challenge in your life, there should be a problem in your life that you want to solve, that you want to overcome it. And when you will have that purpose, you will have that goal, your aim in your life, and various problems coming in its way, so solving those problems, overcoming those hurdles will make you much more stronger and a better person with the growing time, and it will grow you in a much better way. So that is why friendship with wind, that means friendship with challenges, are good. And the poet says we praise him every day. Now once you have overcome all the challenges never stop, they keep on coming. So similarly, when you have went across, or when you have overcome already lots of challenges and become a better and a stronger person, at that time you will feel that yes, those challenges were good. If you haven't faced those challenges, you won't be a person that you are now. So that is why we praise him every day. We praise that wind, that destructive wind, those challenges that come suddenly in our life. We praise him, we become grateful towards it, that it is because of those challenges, that difficult situations in my life, that has shaped me like this today, that has made me this better and a strong person today. Clear? I hope you are clear with the lesson. This whole poem is trying to tell us that only, that we have to be mentally tough and physically strong, and we have to keep a positive attitude and outlook towards our life. The wind, that means which is destructive, are like adversities or challenges in our life that can come anytime, anyway, and we have to be strong enough to overcome them. If we become a weakling in front of it, then it will crush us, it will break us, but we won't have to let him do that. We have to be strong enough so that we emerge out of it as a better and a stronger person. Now as we are done with the explanation of the poem, Again we will talk about certain literary devices. In the previous poem only I have explained you what literary devices are. Those are the techniques used by the writer or a poet to give it a particular impact or a effect, so that the reader can understand it nicely. Now here again in this poem very prominently anaphora is used. I have explained you in the previous video also that anaphora is a literary device in which one particular word is used at the starting of two or more consecutive lines. So here you can see in the second, third and fourth line don't word is repeated in the starting. Then again below it you word is repeating in the maximum line. So here anaphora is used. Then further we see repetition is used. Repetition means repetition of a particular word or a sentence in the poem to lay emphasis on that thing. Now here poet has again and again used the word crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood. So here poet is trying to tell us that through the word crumbling he is trying to lay emphasis on the fact that if we remain weak, then those challenges, those strong wind will destruct us, will destroy us, it will break us in a complete manner. To give it that effect, the poet has repeatedly used the word crumbling. Further, there is also an alliteration used in the next two lines. Alliteration means the consonant sound is very prominent to the close connection of words. Like here, the wind god winnows. So, wind winnows. V sound is repeated. In the next line also, won't what. Again, V sound is prominent and repeated. This whole poem, now in the previous poem we have seen the rhyme scheme as well, but this poem does not have a rhyme scheme. It is written in a free verse. This whole poem is also using the literary device of personification as well as symbolism. First of all, why symbolism? Because here wind is referring, it is symbolizing towards the challenges or adversities in our lives, which we should be able to face through, that will make us a better and a stronger person. And why personification? Personification is a literary device in which an example of a non-living thing is used to represent any living idea or a person. So here wind is a non-living thing, yet it is used to represent the idea of challenges and adversities in our life in this poem. So I hope you are clear with the literary devices as well. Now moving forward, we will discuss the question answers of the poem as well, so that you will be able to write down the answers of it in the notebook. What are the things the wind does in the first stanza? So as we have seen the conversation of the poet and the wind in the first stanza, we come to know that what does the wind do? It blows very strongly and it breaks the shutters of the windows, it scatters the papers, throw down the books on the shelf, tear the pages of the books, brings rain again, and is very clever at poking fun at weaklings. So these are the things that are done by the wind in the first stanza. Now second, have you seen anybody winnow grain at home or in a paddy field? What is the word in your language for winnowing? What do people use for winnowing? Give the words in your language if you know them. So here it is asked. Now see, winnowing is a very common process. We mostly see it happening in the villages. Mostly women do this in order to separate grain from its husk. So you have to find out that in your mother tongue, what is the word used for winnowing. You can ask your mother or your grandmother. She must be for sure be knowing it. And what do people use for winnowing? What is that thing that is used by the winnower, the person who is winnowing? So you have to find out the name for that also. In question number 3, what does the poet say the wind god winnows? So the wind god winnows stronger things from the weak things. That means it winnows, it separates stronger people from the weak people. Whosoever are weak or whichever things are weak, The wind god crushes them, breaks them, crumble them into various pieces and separate the strong and the firm people out of it, firm things out of it. Just like a grain of wheat is winnowed from its husk. Husk is lighter, it is weak, so it gets blown away. Whereas wheat remains firm because it is hard and it is much more heavier in weight. Fourth, what should we do to make friends with the wind? Now, what should we do in order to be friends with the wind? That means, in order to be friends with the challenges in our lives, we have to be mentally tough and physically strong. We have to make our heart steadfast. We have to be very much loyal towards our attitudes and our aims. We have to keep a positive attitude and outlook towards the challenges thrown in our lives, and we have to be strong enough to face them so that we emerge out of it as a better person. So if we do this, if we don't become weakling in front of those problems, we face them with a strong heart and a strong mind, we will be able to make friends with the wind. Question number 5. What do the last 4 lines of the poem mean to you? So what are the last 4 lines of the poem? Let's see. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So the last 4 lines of the poem means that if we remain weak in front of those challenges or adversities, in front of those destructive wind, then it will take us away with it. It will break us, it will shatter various things, it will destruct various things. But if we remain strong in front of it, if we face it strongly with strong mind, positive attitude, then what will happen? It will help us flourish, it will help us grow, it will turn us into a better and a stronger person. That is why it is said that a friendship with this destructive wind, that means friendship with the challenges and the problems in our lives, are good. If we become friends with those challenges, then those challenges will no longer become a problem or a hurdle for us. We will be able to face it as easily as any mathematical sum. So that is why once we face it, once we overcome it, we will praise it. We will be grateful for that problem that it came in our life. Because of that problem, we were able to become a very much stronger and a better person with a great attitude of our mind, which is always firm, which never shakes. Come what may, whatever problem comes, we remain the same. Our attitude, our personality, our character remains same. Even we become better person out of it. 6th, how does the poet speak to the wind? In anger or with humor? You must also have seen or heard of the wind crumbling lives. What is your response to this? Is it like the poets? Now it is asked, how does the poet speak to the wind? In anger or with humor? Now, as we have seen the poem, we come to know that from the poem we come to know that poet is having a conversation with the wind. I think it is in both the ways, sometimes angry and sometimes humorously. And the other questions answers will be given by you people. It is asking for your opinion, that if you must have seen wind crumbling lives, when what a destructive wind can cause, just like a natural calamity does. So what would be your response to the wind? Would it be like the poets? That you have to answer it on your own. Clear? Please complete the answers of these questions in your notebook. Thank you.